Alrighty, good morning everyone. I've got my setup a little bit better today, so hopefully this works out. I've got my my glide gear stand, which I'll post pictures of that in the Discord in a little while. Because right now I'm using my phone to as my primary camera. As you can see, it's an iPhone 12 uh, Pro Max or whatever, the big one, and it does pretty good autofocusing. So I kind of like the way it works. I'm probably going to keep that going. And I've got my C922 webcam for my face. Hello everyone. This is my sleep deprivation daddy beard. My newborn is he's still waking up every 3 hours to eat at night. So when I take a shower, uh, it's usually not when I want to, and I don't have enough spoons to shave, but I will eventually. I mean, I know this makes me look like 10 years older because it's gotten pretty gray. I'm in my mid 40s, and certainly I've had this gray streak in my hair for a while, but well, just a little bit in the front, right? But I call that my racing stripe. But this is getting grayer and grayer by the day. All right, so let's get started. Today I'm going to be opening Commander Legends Battle for Baldur's Gate draft booster box, and the idea is to open this up, see what I get, and then create a sealed commander deck to play against other folks that want to play either regular EDH or in sort of a league with a booster box deck. I've never built EDH deck before. I get the basic idea, I think. I know how EDH works. I played Commander, not very much, but some. And so hopefully I'll be able to put something together soon. And I'm sorry for all the uhs and ohs. And again, that's sleep deprivation. I've got my first cup of coffee here, so hopefully, that's going to help. And good morning to everyone, because it's still morning everywhere in the United States. And if you're not in the U.S., hello, hello, hello. All right, I'm just going to say hi to the chat. I don't know if anyone's actually in it. It seems unlikely. I did post. Well, I mean, we have bots that post to most social media to make sure that people know when we're streaming. This is not an announced stream. This is sort of a random stream. I'm up every morning anyway, for the aforementioned reason. But I did also post to Twitter, which for some reason is not automated. I can work on that. I forgot to get my box knife, so just give me a second. All right, box knife ready. Let's do this. This wonderful draft booster box of Commander Legends. This is a weird note for me, but maybe not for me. It's a weird note for everyone else. So I have quite a collection of sealed, and the way I store those the boxes that are not in cases is I stack them up. And Wizards have been changing the thickness, the depth of the boxes pretty much every release, and so it's been a challenge to stack them up both in order of, I have categories that I sort them into, like standard and non-standard and commanders and masters and all that stuff. It's been a challenge to get the stacks to be even height because the depth keeps changing. Yeah, a little insight into my OCD. Anyway, all right, so we've got draft display box here. Might as well bend it back a little bit. I'm gonna take a look here. We have Command the Draft. This is our card. Talks about draft archetypes. This could help me actually. So it looks like the draft archetypes for Commander Legends Battle for Baldur's Gate are white, blue, blink, blue, black, initiative, black, red, treasure and sacrifice, green, red, dragons, power. Ooh, that sounds good. Green, white, tokens, white, black, aristocrats, blue, red, dragons, spells. Oh, that sounds fun. I'm a fan of dragons, and they're my second favorite creature type in Magic. My first favorite creature type, of course, being angels. Black, green, graveyard, white, red, myriad, And green, blue, dragons, ramp. So there's clearly a dragons theme in this set, and I'm okay with that. I'm totally okay with that. Okay, so I don't know if I can sort this here. That's got my lights kind of shining on that. Let's see if I can. There we go. All right, so this is what we're looking at. I think the thing is just to get started. We're going to get started cracking packs. I'm going to look at I'm going to set the legends aside, because I think that's the most important thing for a commander deck, right? Is to evaluate the legends and see sort of what stuff you have available for your commander. Okay. So I'll just start with that. Let's start with the legends. I don't think there's any common legends, so the commons are just going to get stacked up. I'm going to stack those up off camera because, well, maybe about this side. I'll just put them over here. Okay, there's some uncommons. Oh yeah, I forgot each one of these packs has 2 rares, and my first pack has a pretty good rare in it, Ancient Bronze Dragon. So this is a strong signal. See, I said signal because it's a draft pack. It's a strong signal for me to maybe look at the green-red dragon's power, and also I have a green-red Gorgut's boss here. So Ancient Bronze Dragon is not a legend, but Raga Draga is, and he is a boar. He's a 4/4, and he's a mana ability dude. So let's see, green-red dragons. Okay, so the idea, I guess, would be to stock up on mana ability dudes. Alright. Get swing with that here. Also, that's a little shiny, so let's move that over here. I need a diffuser, really, is what I need. Right now, I've just got these kind of spotlights aiming off into the void over there, so hopefully that is still enough light. It looks like it's enough light. Okay, it's a little bit darker for me in person. Alright, we've got several uncommons here. I think there are uncommon. Wait a minute. So I do have a common legend, but I think this is just because it's the background. So I'm just going to go through these and make sure there's no other legends in the commons, and there is not. I got this is a background. So background is a new sort of partner mechanic. It is exactly like partner, but you can only have a background if it says commander creatures. Sorry, if your commander says choose a background, which Raga Draga does not. I believe only the monocolored legends in this set have choose a background. Okay. Banishment. I mean, it's decent limited removal. I don't know about constructed, but no other legends there, so we'll just put those in the uncommons pile, which I will now make. Commons, uncommons, rares. We'll put the legends there and maybe the backgrounds there. That way we can sort of keep track of them. I also ended up with a goat token. That's delicious, and burnished heart is a foil. Can't really see that because I've turned away the spot. Oh, there it goes. Turned away the spotlight, but you can see a little bit of rainbow there. It's a foil. Okay. Hopefully not every pack will take this long because I really only have until 8. So that's why it says part 1. I'm gonna try to crack the packs now and then build later. Kind of give a preview of what's happening there. I got an initiative counter or token or card. Looking at commons. Bronze Walrus. We talked about that on the Epic Experiment podcast. Okay. Got some uncommons here. We've got a legend. Drakus the Butcher. Do like this. We've got another legend and another legend that's a background. We have our rares Call to the Void, which is okay removal, I guess. I don't know, it's rare. Each player secretly chooses a creature they control and a creature they don't control. These choices are revealed. Destroy each creature chosen this way. Seems like it could bite you in the butt, but maybe not if you're not playing creatures. I don't know. Okay, so I've got a Psychic Impetus foil. It looks like I've got a background here and a legendary dragon peasant in red-green. That's good. And all of my uncommons are red or green, so this looks like it might be shaping up to be a red-green deck. Okay, let's just move on here. We've got legend, and background. Hardy Outlander. Commander creatures you own have, whenever this creature attacks a player, if no opponent has more life than that player, another target creature you control gets +X/+X until end of turn, where X is this creature's power. So this is the attack the healthiest creature card. Healthiest player card. Alright. Oh, good morning, Sona. How's it going? Yeah, I figured the archetypes are for sealed, but I also will use them as a guide for my constructed deck because clearly I'm working with the same card pool. So, okay, what do we got here? We've got a copy token, Young Red Dragon. I do like dragons. Got some uncommons. And my usual approach to building sealed is look at the rares and uncommons and try to figure out what my power base is, and then choose commons based on whatever I come up with there. So we've got looks like we've got 2 rares. Cultist of the Absolute, which is a rare background. That's cool. Commanding creatures you own get +3/+3 and have flying, death touch, ward, pay 3 life, and at the beginning of your turn sacrifice a creature. That's pretty strong, I'll have to say. Actually, that's pretty strong. I think this is a foil Dragon Cultist. Yeah, it looks like a foil. We've got another rare, Astarion's Thirst, and Renari, Merchant of Marvels. Did I forget to put these away? Yes, I did. So we've got this background. We've got this rare, exile target creature, put X +1/+1 counters on a commander creature you control, where X is the... Oh, that's really good removal. I mean, black is... So far I've got a lot of black removal. I know, that's kind of expected, I guess. I'm gonna just adjust this a little bit. Okay. Renari, Merchant of Marvels. You may cast dragon spells and artifact spells as though they had flash. Choose a background. Seems like a pretty decent commander. He's in blue. And, I got a lot of packs to go. Another initiative card. More commons. Stone Skin. I think I need to put the cards on this side so I don't cross over. We'll get out in a minute. Stone Skin. Oh, uncommon. Sorry, I'm still... Drow Apostate. I am still tired. Blur is our foil. Archivist of Ogma. We have a couple of legends. So Archivist of Ogma is a halfling cleric with flash. Whenever an opponent searches their library, you gain 1 life and draw a card. Okay, card draw on white. Doesn't suck. Feywild Visitor, legendary enchantment background. Commander creatures you own have, whenever 1 or more non-token creatures you control deal damage to a player, create a 1/1. Oh. Party Dragon. Okay. And, sorry, I'm reading these cards because I haven't seen them. I've opened a set booster box, but I haven't really paid attention to the actual set of cards, so I'm just reading them. Anthara, Merciless Soul, Elf Cleric, Ward X, where X is the number of experience counters you have. At the beginning of your end step, if a permanent you control left the battlefield this turn, you get an experience counter. Creatures you control get +1/+0 for each experience counter you have. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, a couple of legends to add to our stack. The Archivist is one. Looks like you need to play white. Think so? The Archivist is one of the best rares in the set. Yeah, that's pretty good, especially for white. Why is it one of the best rares? Is it just the costing and flash? It's a 2/2 for 2, so it's a bear. But yeah, so you can surprise somebody and draw a card. Tell me more about that, Sona. Tell me more about that. I'd like to subscribe to your newsletter. We've got some uncommons. Here we have some uncommons that have a thingy, which are rare. Our foil is Roving Harper. And we have a construct token. And some uncommons. Okay, so Windshaper Planetar. It's an angel. 4 and a white, flash flying for 4/4. Yeah. When Windshaper Planetar enters the battlefield during the declare attacker step, for each attacking creature, when Windshaper Planetar enters the battlefield during the declare attacker's step, for each attacking creature, you may reselect which player or planeswalker that creature is attacking. Think about that one. Not sure where that one would be useful. Card draw. White typically doesn't get access to card draw. I did know that. But it seems like this is, I mean, at worst, this seems like this is draw 1 card for 2 mana. But your opponent is a conditional, but that's still okay, because there's a lot of searching in Commander, right? Yeah, I can see that. So draw a card for 2 mana, and then if it sticks around, you can draw more cards as everybody keeps searching the library. I can see how that would be very powerful in a multiplayer game. I see. Okay. Candlekeep Sage. Legendary enchantment background. Commander creatures you own have, when this creature enters or leaves the battlefield, draw a card, because blue is rife with card draw. And Saravok, a Deathbringer. At the beginning of each player's end step, if no permanent left the battlefield this turn, that player loses X life, where X is Saravok's power. And choose a background. I do like that. That's nice. So we have there. Thanks for joining me this morning. I know you have to leave probably before the stream is over, but I do appreciate your insights. Hopefully you'll be able to join for the construction stream. I have another initiative and some commons. Faceless one. It looks like a common legend. Draconic Muralists. A few legends in here. Ooh, reflecting cool. We have Nimble Right Schematic is our foil. Our rare is Reflecting Pool, which is a great card. Add 1 mana of any type that a land you control could produce. So obviously that's going in the deck. No question. Faceless one says it's a background for 5. Yeah, that goes in the deck. Indeed it does. Faceless one for 5 generic. Background. Faceless one is your commander. Choose a color before the game begins. Faceless one is the chosen color and choose a background. Oh, so this is the card that for draft and sealed, that if you don't get a commander in the color of your power, you can pick this guy. And he doesn't really do anything. He's a 3/3 for 5. So he's really just add a color to any color to a monocolor commander with choose a background. Okay. Dungeon Delver. Commander creatures you own have room abilities of dungeons you own trigger an additional time. Oh. So the only dungeon in Sealed is Undercity. And you venture into the Undercity, secret entrance. So this is like, you venture into the Undercity, and you do that when you take initiative or on upkeep if you have initiative. Alright, thanks Sona. Take care, man. Secret entrance. Search your library for a basic land, reveal it, and put it into your hand and shuffle. Then you have a choice to go to Forge or Lost Well. And then from Forge you can choose Trap or Arena. From Lost Well you can choose Stash or Arena. And then from Trap and Arena you can go to Archives. And from Arena and Stash you can go to Catacombs. And then the ultimate is Throne of the Dead 3. Reveal the top 10 cards of your library. Put a creature card from among them onto the battlefield with 3 +1/+1 counters. On top of it, it gains hexproof until your next turn. Then shuffle. That's pretty good dope. Notably, it does not get haste. So while it is not able to attack, it has hexproof. Okay, that's pretty good. Sounds like it could turn the tide a little bit depending on the creature. What if it has a really good ETB? That sounds good. Okay, so we have a few here. Here's a, so that's the background. Kaga Shadow Archdruid, or Archdruid, and Kadra Collar of the Small. Creates rabbits. Okay, and Kaga Shadow Archdruid, when it attacks, it gains Death Touch, and then you mill 2 cards, so it's a self-mill card. And green-black is graveyard, that makes sense. Green-white is tokens, right? Green-white, tokens. Once during each of your turns, you may play a land or cast a permanent spell from among cards in your graveyard that would put there from your library this turn. Oh, that's interesting. Interesting. So it's sort of like an impulse draw in red, but it's for the graveyard. Okay. Pegasus token. Oh, sorry, I should do this over here. Pegasus token. That's cool. Let's just make sure we don't have any. Ooh, murder. Okay. Lightning bolt. This is black-red again. Black-red. Treasure and sacrifice. But lightning bolt can go in. Lightning bolt, man, I love that card. That's an old school card. That can go in our Dragon's deck if I want it to. I got some uncommons. Common background. We have like foil that is a background. So our foil is Feywild Visitor for 2 and a blue. It's an uncommon. You get a legendary enchantment background. Commander creatures you own have whenever one or more non-token creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, you create a 1/1 blue fairy dragon creature token with flag. Okay, so token generator. That's pretty cool. I'm going to put that in our background stack because it's a background. Fraying Line is our rare. Fraying Line. For 4 mana, you get an artifact. When Fraying Line enters the battlefield, put a rope counter on target creature you control. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, they may pay 2. If they do, they put a rope counter on a creature they control. Otherwise, exile Fraying Line, and each creature without a rope counter on it, then remove all rope counters from all creatures. Wow. So if you play this, and someone doesn't have a creature on it in the battlefield, yeah, everybody without a rope counter gets exiled. That's pretty cool. That's a good card. Flaming Fist, 2 and a white for a background. Commander creatures you own have. Whenever this creature attacks, it gets double strike. Okay, does sound like a common background. Allura, Merry Thief, 2 in blue for a halfling rogue legend. Whenever you attack, up to 1 target attacking creature can't be blocked this turn. Return that creature to its owner's hand at the beginning of the next end step and choose a background. So it's a tempo commander? Interesting. Abdel Adrian Gorian's Ward. When Abdel Adrian Gorian's Ward enters the battlefield, exile any number of other non-land permanents you control until he leaves the battlefield. Create a 1/1 white soldier token for each permanent. Exile this way and choose a background. Interesting. That is a lot of tokens. It's potentially a lot of tokens, I guess. Alright, what we got here? Our token is the initiative. Got a faceless one. Some commons. We're gonna away together. I think that was in Eldraine. Cut a deal. Contract seal. Energy. Flaming Fist. We have Will's Reversal. Ooh, and a foil mythic. That's nice. Let's see what that says. Storm King's Thunder. When you cast your next instant or sorcery spell this turn, copy the spell X times, and you may choose new targets. And that is red, 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 and X. I do like red. Okay, we're going to put that in our rares pile. Will's Reversal. 2 and a red. Choose target spell or ability with one or more targets. Roll a d20 and add the greatest power among creatures you control. You may choose new targets on 1 to 14. On 15 plus, you may choose targets for that spell or ability, then copy it. You may choose new targets for the copy. That's a strong card. It's better than a counter spell, it looks like. As long as the spell is targeted. So that's good. I like that. Flaming Fist, we saw that one. Safna. 3/2 with Menace. At the beginning of your end step, if you have initiative, so this is the initiative deck, create a treasure token. Create 3 of those tokens instead if you've completed a dungeon, and choose a background. OG, the Exquisite Blade. 2/3 Monk. When OG enters the battlefield, you gain 2 life and scry 2. That's okay. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, exile up to 1 target creature you control and return it to the battlefield under someone's control. So that's a blink guy. I like it. Ooh, that's a cool looking skeleton. David Astruga. I'm gonna have to look up his art later because that's beautiful. Okay. Recruit my tribe. Cast down. Destroy target non-legendary creature. Better in the non-commander format, I guess. But that's okay. Gale, Waterdeep Prodigy, Mighty Servants, and another foil rare. Will, Blade of Frontiers. These are uncommons. Uncommon stack. Okay, so Will, Blade of Frontiers. 1 in red, 1/1. Legendary creature, human warlock. If you would roll 1 or more dice, instead roll that many dice +1 and ignore the lowest roll. Whenever you roll 1 or more dice, put a +1/+1 counter on him and choose a background. So he's red. Is there a red die roll? Red, red, red. Die roll, +1, red. I don't know. I'm not sure which one he goes in. But that's pretty cool. Put that in our rare pile. Let's consider all of our rares. Gale, Waterdeep Prodigy, 2 and a blue. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell from your hand, you may cast up to 1 target card of the other type from your graveyard. That's cool. Choose a background, 1/3. Dragon Cultist is our background. Commander creatures you own have, at the beginning of your end step, if a source you control dealt 5 or more damage this turn, create a 4/4 red dragon creature token with flying. Wonder what check that goes in. Like that. And Mighty Servant of Luco. For 3, it's a 6/6 vehicle. Trample, ward, discard a card. Whenever Mighty Servant of Luco becomes crewed for the first time each turn, if it was crewed by exactly 2 creatures, it gains whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, draw 2 cards until end of turn. Ooh. And it's crew 4. That's pretty dope. Reminder that you can crew a vehicle with as many creatures as you want, as long as it meets the minimum number of power, combined power of the creatures. You can even crew with more than you need. So if you have like a 6 something and a 1/1, you can crew with both, and that's 2 creatures. The crew value is the minimum amount required to make it into a creature. So I guess not all of these have 2 rares, right? That was a misunderstanding on my part. Okay, we have an initiative. Universal Solvent. I remember that dude. Okay, commons. Drillworks. Sweep. Tavern Brawler. Wheelblade of Frontiers, Eldritch Pact, and Arms of Hadar is our foil common. We just talked about Will. We like Will. We have Eldritch Pact, 6 and black. Target player draws X cards and loses X life, where X is the number of cards in their graveyard. Huh. So you could deck somebody, you could kill them outright, or you could draw yourself some cards. That's a good card. That's really good removal. It's player removal. Tavern Brawler, 2 in red. Background, commander creatures you own have, at the beginning of your upkeep, exile the top card of your library. This creature gets +X/+0 until end of turn, where X is that card's mana value, and you may play that card this turn. Okay, I like it. One of those beautiful skeleton tokens. We got a foil lightning bolt in the rules. I'm skipping ahead, aren't I? I saw that lightning bolt and I was like, oh, I gotta show that on stream. If I play red, that one's going in because I do like that art. It is Phil Stone has that art. Faceless one. Topaz Dragon, Sailor's Bane, Roseanne, Legend. Okay, that's a legend. Raised by Giants and Bountiful Promenade. Nice to see those lands making a comeback. These are the Battle Bond lands, so they're basically commander lands. Raised by Giants, commander creatures you own have base power and toughness 10/10 and are giants in addition to their other types. Cool. I'll go good in a red-green. Lausanne Dragon's Legacy, blue, red, and 3. This is obviously the commander spells commander, or a commander. Flying for 2 whenever you cast an adventure spell or a dragon spell. Lausanne deals damage equal to that spell's mana value to any target that isn't a commander. Interesting. And Bountiful Promenade, our buddy land, which is no, sorry, it's not a buddy land. It's a battle bond land. Enters the battlefield tapped unless you have 2 or more opponents, and it's a green white. Toucaneers. Oh, Myriad. Yeah, Toucaneers is funny. It's a funny word. But it does make sense because they're flying on a toucan. Rescuer Chwinga. Oh, yeah. So, funny story. I made some ratatouille last night, which requires you to make very thin slices of a lot of vegetables. And so I use my mandolin, which I've gotten pretty good at. Not cutting myself, but on the very last vegetable, actually it was a tomato, on the very last item that I had to slice, on the second to last slice, I made the sacrifice to the mandolin gods and took a little bit off my thumb there. So this is from yesterday, that's why it's all ratty. I will, I admit that I have not taken a shower yet today because the baby is hanging out. You know what? I don't have my monitor on. I thought I did. Okay. No cries. That's good. Anyway, moving on. Nothic. Okay. Pseudo Dragon Familiar is our foil common, and we have a soldier token. We have some commons, and we have Tavern Brawler. We've seen that guy before, in fact, just now. Ascend from Avernus. White, 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 X. Sorcery. Return all creature and planeswalker cards with mana value X or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. That sounds good. Sivirus Nightmare Speaker. Legendary creature, Snake, Cleric, Warlock. For 3 black. 3/3. Tap, sacrifice another creature or an artifact. For each opponent, you mill a card, then return that card from your graveyard to your hand unless that player pays 3 life and choose a background. That's pretty dope. cool if you can give that guy haste, because it seems like he would die right away. Fairy Dragon token. Cloud Kill. That's a great spell in D&D. Interesting. Okay. Laura. Annex. Wrathful Red Dragon, and our foil common is Trailblazer's Torch. Okay, so we've got Wrathful Red Dragon, red and 3. Dragon with flying, 5/5. Whenever a dragon you control is dealt damage, it deals that much damage to any target that isn't a dragon. I like that. Candlekeep Sage, 2 in white, blue. Background, commander creatures you own have when this creature enters or leaves the battlefield, draw a card. I like that. Allura, 2 in blue. Legendary Halfling Rogue, 3/2. Whenever you attack, up to one target attacking creature can't be... Oh, we saw this one before. Just in a different treatment, and choose a background. And Ganax Astral Hunter, 3/4 flying dragon for 4 and a red. Whenever Ganax Astral Hunter or another dragon enters the battlefield under your control, create a treasure token and choose a background. That's pretty cool. Chain Devil. Your temple is under attack. Warrior needs more food. Juvenile Dragon. Saddle of the Cavalier. Stone Pick of Crystal. This is a legend. This is a legend. Ancient Gold Dragon. That doesn't suck. And a foil legend. So treasure token. Some uncommons. Wow, this is a decent pack, huh? Okay. Ancient Gold Dragon. White, and 5. Flying. Whenever Ancient Gold Dragon deals combat damage to a player, roll a d20. You create a number of 1/1 blue fairy dragon creature tokens with flying equal to the result. Whew. You know, this is the first set where Elder Dragon creature type is not, they're not legendary. I don't know why. It's weird. Gildard is in red and 1 background. Whenever commander creatures you own have, whenever this creature attacks a player, if no opponent has more life than that, oh, you get 2 treasure tokens. Okay, so that's the treasure, right? Treasure and sacrifice. Whenever commander creature, yeah, that's pretty good. Emerald Archdruid, green. Elf Druid, 2/4 for 1 mana. Until end of turn, target token you control becomes a green bear creature with base power and toughness 4/4 in addition to its other colors and types. Choose a background. Oh, so he makes bears, but he makes big bears, 4/4s, not 2/2s. And our foil, legendary creature, Halfling Ranger, 3/3 for green and 2 with Death Touch. Whenever Irinus attacks, return target land card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Choose a background. Okay. Two rares in this one. Soldier token. Okay, so our foil rare is Elderbrain. This is also the buy a box promo. Black, and 5. Creature horror with 6/6 with menace. Whenever Elderbrain attacks a player, exile all cards from that player's hand. Then they draw that many cards. You may play lands and cast spells from among the exiled cards for as long as they remain exiled. Okay. If you cast a spell this way, you may spend mana as though it were mana of any color to cast it. I like it. Traverse the Outlands, 4 and a green. Search your library for up to X basic land cards where X is the greatest power among creatures you control. Put those cards onto the battlefield tapped and shuffle. That's a good ramp. Turn 5. Agent of the Iron Throne. black, and 2 legendary background. Commander creatures you own have. Whenever an artifact or creature you control is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, each opponent loses 1 life. Aristocrats, I'm guessing, for background. Abdel, oh yeah, this is the Blink guy. And Vol, Candlekeep Researcher, 2/3 wizard for blue and 3. Vigilance, add an amount of a colorless mana equal to Vol, Candlekeep Researcher's toughness. This mana can't be spent to cast spells from your hand. Interesting. I wonder what it can be used for. Activated abilities, casting spells that aren't in your hand, things like that. Specifically that, I guess. Mold Folk. Slaughter the Strong, Gaunt Gate. It's a poor man's, Hammers of Moradin. America, Lord of Bones. Your temple is under attack is our foil common, and we have an initiative token. Okay, Ravenloft Adventurer is our rare. Creature, Human, Rogue, Assassin, 3/4. When Ravenloft Adventurer enters the battlefield, you take the initiative. Yes. If a creature an opponent controls would die, instead exile it and you put a hit counter on it whenever Ravenloft Adventurer attacks. If you've completed a dungeon, defending player loses 1 life for each card they own in exile with a hit counter on it. That's cool. Mirka, Lord of Bones. Green, black, white, and 4. So for 7 mana, give a 7/5 God. As long as your life total is less than or equal to half your starting life total, Merkle has Indestructible. Whenever another non-token creature you control dies, you may exile it. If you do, create a token that's a copy of that card, except it's an enchantment and loses all other card types. That's pretty cool. Yeah, there's some shenanigans with that guy. Scion of Halster, black and 1 for a background. Commander creatures you own have. The first time you would draw a card each turn, instead look at the top 2 cards of your library, put one of them in your graveyard and the other back on top of your library, then draw a card. That's not bad. Again, my son is waking up over there, so my time is running out. Therefore, I'm going to go a little faster because time is running out. I guess my methodology would be to open all the packs that are left, sort away the commons, and then do 1 stack at a time. Sorry that some of this is occurring off camera. It seems like the pack tracking is pretty loud on camera, so I'm just trying to avoid any extraneous. It's quieted down again, so I guess that was a false alarm, but I don't want Ghastly Death Turn. But I don't want to chance it. Built up my habits. My habit is not opening under the camera, but I do need to do some stuff under the camera. Okay, Amethyst Dragon. Legends and rares. Oh, foil command tower. That's pretty cool. That's a good card. Boo token. So we're gonna put rares here. Wait, what? Oh yeah, rares here, legends here. All right. Master Chef. Foil Ghost Lantern. You're confronted by robbers. Foil common. Foil stone skin. Soldier token. Volo. I see Volo in there. Cone of Cold foil. Foil Cone of Cold. That one's pretty. Ooh, Ancient Silver Dragon. That's cool. Ghastly Death Tyrant foil with a Fury Dragon token. Sorry for the rush. I just need to make sure that I am around when he actually wakes up, which might be soon. Prophetic Prism foil and copy token. Banishment foil banishment. And a initiative token. Alright, let's just do the rares first. Undermountain Adventurer. Monster Manual. Ancient Silver Dragon. I got 3 Ancient Dragons. This one is roll d20 and draw cards, and you have no maximum hand size for the rest of the game. Mirror of Life Trapping. I mean, that's pretty good. Displace your kitten. White Plume Adventurer. Pact Weapon, which is a mythic. Black and 3. As long as Pact Weapon is attached to your creature, you don't lose the game for having 0 or less life. Whenever equipped creature attacks, draw a card and reveal it. That creature gets +X/+X until end of turn, and you lose X life, where X is that card's mana value. Equip, discard a card. That's pretty good, Albert Cub. Looks like I got a decent number of mythics in that box. Okay, let's see. Creature, background, creature, creature, background, background, creature, creature, background, creature, background, creature, 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 background, creature, background, creature, creature, background. Okay. So we've seen Flaming Fist. We've seen Master Chef. We've seen Criminal... No, we haven't seen Criminal Past. Criminal Past. Commander creatures you own have Menace and... This creature gets +X/+0, where X is the number of creature cards in your graveyard. Master Chef. Far Traveler. Commander creatures you own have, at the beginning of your end step, exile up to 1 target tapped creature you control, then return it to the battlefield. So Blink. Acolyte of Bahamut. Commander creatures you own have, the first dragon spell you cast each turn costs 2 less to cast. That's good. That's a good background for a dragon deck. Scion of Halaster. Commander creatures you own have, the first time you would draw a card, and instead look at the top, we saw that one. Noble Heritage. Commander creatures you own have, when this creature enters the battlefield at the beginning of your upkeep, each player may put 2 +1/+1 counters on a creature they control. For each opponent who does, you gain protection from that player until your next turn. It's a group hug card. Not sure I would play it. I'm not a big group hug guy. Okay, let's look at the legends. Volo. He's a mythic. Just sorting them by rarity. much less likely to have seen the rares. Okay. So we've got Gloomstalker. That's the return to land from your graveyard. Scale Singer. You may look at the top card of your library and you may cast dragon spells from the top of your library. That's an odd one. So blue-green, Dragon's Ramp. Oh, it is a dragon. But no red cards. That's a decent commander. Mahdi, Emporium Master. Cat Devil. At the beginning of your end step, create a treasure token for each creature that died this turn. Oh, so that's our treasure and sacrifice commander. Ellen Harbury's Busybody. Look at the top X cards of your library, where X is the number of tokens you created this turn. Put one of those cards into your hand, and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order, and choose a background. Sivirus Nightmare Speaker. Yep. Seen that one. Scanos Dragonheart. Whenever Scanos attacks, it gets +X until end of turn, where X is the greatest power among other dragons you control and dragon cards in your graveyard. Wow. That's pretty dope. Commander Liara Porter. She has it right in the name. 5/3. Whenever you attack, spells you cast from exile this turn cost X less to cast, where X is the number of players being attacked. Exile the top X cards of your library. Until end of turn, you may cast spells from among those exiled cards. And Lulu Loyal Hollyfount. Elephant Angel. Oh, 3/2. Flying at the beginning of your end step. If a permanent you control left the battlefield this turn, put a +1/+1 counter on each tapped creature you control, then untap them. Choose a background. Okay, where's Astarion the Decadent. Death Touch Lifelink Vampire Elf Rogue 4/4 at the beginning of your end step. Choose one. Feed. Target opponent loses life equal to the amount of life they lost this turn, or friends, you gain life equal to the amount of life you gained this turn. So aristocrats. Duke Ulder Ravengard. 4 red, white, 5/5. At the beginning of combat on your turn, another creature you control gains haste and myriad until end of turn. That's good. That's really good. Jan Jansen Chaos Crafter. Legendary creature Gnome Artificer 3/3 with haste. Tap, sacrifice an artifact creature, create 2 treasure tokens. Tap, sacrifice a non-creature artifact, create 2 1/1 colorless construct artifact creature tokens. Okay. And finally, Volo, Itinerant Scholar, for 2 and a blue, 2/3 legendary creature human wizard. When Volo enters the battlefield, create Volo's Journal, a legendary colorless artifact token with hexproof, and whenever you cast a creature spell, note one of its creature types that hasn't been noted for this artifact. Draw a card for each creature type noted for target permanent 2 and tap. Draw a card for each creature type noted for target permanent you control named Volo's Journal. I like it. Choose a background. That's a really good card. Good commander. That's a card draw commander. Okay, well, thanks for joining me today. I have to run. My son is starting to wake up, and he's going to eat at 8 o'clock, so that means that I have to get my other son up, who is a 3.5-year-old, and get him started on breakfast so that I have enough spoons for my infant. I allow. My wife likes to sleep in the morning because obviously she gets up too every 3 hours. She is not breastfeeding, but she is pumping, so basically it means both of us have to be up because I feed the baby and she pumps, and that works for us. So anyway, too much information. I'm clearly tired. I will catch you all next time. Thanks for joining.